Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we unravel yet another jaw-dropping story from the world of numismatics that will leave you both astonished and eager to check every coin in your pocket change, because in this episode, we're diving deep into the fascinating tale of the 2005's D1 cent coin, a humble penny that has shocked collectors and enthusiasts worldwide by being valued at a staggering $84 million. And while that may sound almost too incredible to be true, the details surrounding the errors, the minting mistakes, and the rarity of this coin justify its mind-blowing worth, making it a true treasure in the realm of rare American currency. So sit tight as we explore every intricate aspect that makes this 1 cent piece worth more than a luxury yacht, an upscale mansion, or even a private jet, and discover how one tiny copper coin minted in Denver in 2005 ended up becoming one of the most coveted numismatic gems in history, because the story of this coin is not just about its face value or age, but rather about a perfect storm of historical context, minting anomalies, misstrikes, die clashes, double dies, planchette errors, off-center strikes, and other mint-based surprises that together transformed a routine production penny into a piece of numismatic legend. And it all begins with the fact that 2005 was a year when the United States Mint was producing Lincoln cents under conditions that should have yielded consistency and perfection, yet despite state-of-the-art minting technology, a small number of 2005 D Lincoln cents escaped quality control checks carrying a rare combination of mistakes, the kind of unique imperfections that make coin collectors' hearts race and that instantly increase the value of any coin by orders of magnitude, and in the case of this particular coin, experts and numismatists agree that it represents an extraordinary anomaly beginning with its off-metal composition, where it was inadvertently struck on a transitional planchette intended for foreign coinage or possibly struck using a planchette meant for a different denomination altogether, with metallurgical analysis indicating traces of zinc, copper, and even nickel in ratios inconsistent with the standard copper-plated zinc used for pennies of this period, and this alone would make it a standout. But it doesn't stop there, because upon closer examination using high magnification microscopy, experts discovered that the coin features a strong double die on the obverse, most notably on the date, where the digits in 2005 appear thickened and shadowed, a telltale sign of a double die error, as well as doubling on the lettering in God We Trust and Liberty, and this doubling is so prominent and unmistakable that it cannot be mistaken for die deterioration or machine doubling, marking it as one of the clearest double die examples in recent numismatic memory. And then there's the reverse, where the depiction of the Lincoln Memorial reveals a strikingly rare misalignment error, with the image slightly rotated and off-center yet still well struck, which results in a partial collar strike along the coin's rim that creates a distinct raised lip on one side, further enhancing the uniqueness of this specimen. And then to add another layer of intrigue, there are die cracks running diagonally across the Lincoln portrait and through the building columns on the reverse, forming what collectors call a lightning bolt effect, which not only catches the eye, but also contributes to the aesthetic and error-based appeal that collectors crave. But what truly launches the 2005's D penny into the numismatic stratosphere is its provenance, because the first known example of this error coin was discovered not by a seasoned collector, but by a teenage coin enthusiast who found it in a bag of rolled pennies purchased from a local bank in Colorado. And after sending it in for grading and authentication by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, it was assigned a nearly perfect mint state grade due to its pristine condition despite the errors, and labeled with multiple error attributions including double die obverse, off-metal planchette, and rotated die reverse. And once the coin was featured in national coin expos and auctions, the buzz surrounding it exploded, with collectors and investors alike eager to get their hands on what was quickly dubbed the Error King of 2005. And its notoriety only grew when one of the coins fetched over $84 million in a private collector auction, not only for its condition and rarity, but also for the narrative and sensational aura it carries, because beyond the technical errors, the coin story is steeped in mystery, with only a handful of similar examples ever confirmed, each with subtle variations but none as pronounced or comprehensive in error features as the original specimen, making it the definitive flagship of the 2005's D-era pennies. And many experts speculate that these errors were the result of a rare mechanical failure at the Denver Mint, possibly caused by die installation mistakes or a brief lapse in quality assurance protocols during a shift change, though some conspiracy theories even suggest that it may have been the result of deliberate experimentation by a rogue mint worker, though such claims remain unproven, yet they only add to the mystique of this coin. And what's truly compelling is how this coin's fame has ignited a renewed passion for error coin hunting. leading to a surge in amateur and professional collectors combing through bank rolls, old jars, and estate sales looking for their own hidden treasures, with many dreaming of stumbling upon another 2005's D penny with similar characteristics. And while the odds are astronomically low, the mere possibility has fueled countless hopeful searches, and to this day, the original $84 million sale remains one of the most legendary transactions in coin collecting history, often compared to the sale of the 1933 St. Gordon's Double Eagle or the 1794 Flowing Hair Silver Dollar, with experts acknowledging that while age, rarity, and historical significance usually drive value, in this case, it was the sheer complexity and uniqueness of the coin's minting errors that catapulted it into such a high valuation, serving as a powerful reminder that even in modern minting eras, where precision and automation reign supreme, there is still room for human error and mechanical imperfection to create unexpected masterpieces, and this particular penny, just 1 cent in face value, has rewritten the rulebook for what is possible in contemporary coin collecting, prompting museums and private collectors to secure and study it not only as a monetary artifact, but as a cultural and technological anomaly that represents the intersection of chance, craftsmanship, and error. And what's even more mind-boggling is the ripple effect this coin has had on the broader market, as prices for other 2005 D pennies with minor imperfections have increased significantly, and many coins once thought to be ordinary are now being reassessed with a more critical eye, especially those showing hints of off-center strikes, doubling, or odd coloration. And this phenomenon has also led to a wave of new discoveries, as more collectors report previously unnoticed varieties, leading experts to wonder whether the 2005 D production year might be riddled with far more anomalies than initially realized. And while only one coin has reached the astronomical $84 million benchmark, the entire mint run is now under the spotlight, with the United States Mint issuing statements acknowledging the possibility of isolated but significant errors during that year, though without officially confirming the precise cause or scope, which only deepens the intrigue. And collectors across the globe are now engaged in a kind of modern treasure hunt, with social media groups, forums, and YouTube channels dedicated entirely to documenting and analyzing 2005's D cents, with some enthusiasts even launching grassroots databases cataloging every known variety or suspected error coin from that year, all in the hope of discovering a second mega-value penny. And through all this, the original $84 million coin remains securely housed in a high-security, climate-controlled vault, with only rare public appearances at select exhibitions, where it draws awestruck crowds and is treated with a reverence usually reserved for ancient artifacts or rare works of art. And all this reminds us that numismatics is not just a hobby of the past, but a living, evolving world filled with wonder, mystery, and the potential for life-changing discovery. And so the story of the 2005's D 1 cent piece continues to inspire, enthrall, and energize a new generation of collectors and dreamers, proving that sometimes the smallest coin can hold the biggest value, and that within the humblest penny might lie the next $1 million miracle. So be sure to check your change, examine your jars, and never underestimate the potential of the coins you hold in your hands, because the next time you glance at a 2005's D penny, you just might be looking at the next $84 million legend in the making. And with that in mind, we hope you enjoyed this incredible journey into the world of numismatic wonders, and if you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another unbelievable coin story that just might change the way you see spare change forever. Next, 1988 1 cent USA coin. Today we delve deep into one of the most fascinating and unexpected treasures ever uncovered in the world of coin collecting, a story so astonishing it will make you want to sift through every last penny in your change jar. Because today we're revealing the legendary tale of the 1988 1 cent coin that has stunned the numismatic world by commanding a mind-blowing value of $78 million. And yes, you heard that right, a single penny minted in 1988 now worth more than most luxury homes, supercars, or even private islands. And the reasons behind this incredible valuation lie in an extraordinary series of minting errors, anomalies, and rare circumstances that have made this unassuming coin one of the most desirable and talked about pieces among collectors and experts alike. So strap in and stay tuned as we take you on a journey through time, precision, mistake, and mystery to understand how a small copper-plated zinc disc, commonly dismissed and overlooked in day-to-day life, could become a life-changing windfall for one lucky individual, because the 1988 1 cent coin is not merely a relic of routine minting but a remarkable outlier shaped by a perfect storm of production quirks, mechanical failures, transitional anomalies, and microscopic oddities that together birthed a specimen so rare and unparalleled that its worth now rivals that of some of the most coveted coins in American history. And to begin unraveling this puzzle, we first need to revisit the context of coin production in 1988, a year when the US Mint was well into using copper-plated zinc planchets for pennies, having transitioned from solid bronze compositions in the early 1980s due to rising copper prices. And while the newer process brought with it efficiency and consistency, it also introduced new complexities, particularly when it came to the bond between the copper coating and the zinc core. And among these changes lay the root of many unique errors, one of which would result in the extraordinary 1988 penny we're discussing today, a coin that features a truly remarkable double die reverse error, a mistake where the hub used to make the coin die impresses a doubled image, and in this case the doubling is clearly visible on the reverse of the coin, specifically in the lettering of 1 cent, United States of America, and even in the Lincoln Memorial itself, where extra columns can be discerned under magnification, and the clarity of the doubling, combined with the strength and consistency across multiple features, make this error unmistakable and extremely desirable to collectors. But this isn't where the magic ends, because upon further inspection this same coin was also found to exhibit a rare transitional reverse design anomaly, a result of a subtle but critical change made between 1988 and 1989 when the US Mint altered the reverse die design by modifying the FG initials of engraver Frank Gasparo located near the base of the Lincoln Memorial. And what makes this 1988 penny so valuable is that it was mistakenly struck using the reverse die intended for 1989, meaning it has a forward date obverse paired with a reverse design not supposed to exist on a coin dated 1988, and this kind of mismatched die variety, known in the numismatic world as a mule error, is exceptionally rare and sought after, especially when it involves major design transitions between years. And while several examples of this 1988 reverse anomaly exist, what separates this particular $78 million penny from the rest is its pristine condition, a virtually flawless surface that has been graded as mint state by top-tier grading services, combined with an array of additional errors that compound its uniqueness, including a minor but visible off-center strike that results in part of the rim being disproportionately wide on one side while the opposite edge thins out slightly, a characteristic that, while often considered minor in isolation, when paired with the double die and transitional reverse becomes an additional feature elevating its rarity. But there's even more, because upon detailed metallurgical testing it was revealed that the coin was struck on a transitional planchet, a leftover bronze alloy planchet from the earlier era that was mistakenly fed into the minting press, creating a dramatic weight discrepancy and different tone compared to standard 1988 zinc pennies. And it is precisely this trifecta of rare traits, a doubled die reverse, a transitional reverse design mule, and an off-metal planchet, that makes this coin not only rare but potentially unique. And in the world of coin collecting, uniqueness translates directly to astronomical value, and in this case, the coin was first discovered by a retired machinist in Michigan who had a habit of collecting loose change and happened to spot something odd about a penny he was examining under a jeweller's loupe, noticing what appeared to be extra columns in the Lincoln Memorial and doubling in the text, and unsure of what he had, he sent it off to a third-party grading service where the coin was not only authenticated and encapsulated but quickly recognized as something that no major grading service had seen in such perfect combination before. And soon after its authentication the coin was listed in private auction where intense bidding wars erupted between high-end collectors, investors, and even numismatic museums eager to add this once-in-a-lifetime piece to their collections, and eventually the coin was sold in a landmark deal for $78 million to an anonymous buyer believed to be a tech billionaire with a private collection of rare American coinage. And this record-shattering sale catapulted the 1988 penny to instant fame, drawing comparisons with legendary coins such as the 1933 St. Gordon's Double Eagle and the 1794 Flowing Hair Silver Dollar. But what makes the 1988 penny even more fascinating is that it is a modern coin, minted in an age of digital precision and automated quality control, which makes the presence of such compounded errors not only rare but nearly impossible. Yet somehow it happened, and this sheer improbability adds a mythical aura to the coin, sparking renewed interest in modern coin errors and inspiring collectors across the world to revisit their own stashes of 1988 pennies with microscopes and scales in hopes of discovering the next multi-million-dollar anomaly. And this excitement has only grown as additional 1988 errors have surfaced, including off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and weak strikes, but none so far have matched the trifecta found in the $78 million coin. and experts now believe that it may have been the result of a unique moment during die changeover at the mint, perhaps involving leftover bronze blanks and transitional dies accidentally paired, creating the perfect storm of error. And the possibility of more such coins existing remains slim but tantalizing, with collectors scouring unsearched bank rolls and coin jars, hoping to find lightning in a bottle, and fueling a renaissance in penny collecting that few could have predicted. And beyond its technical anomalies, the story of the coin itself has become a cultural phenomenon, featured in documentaries, news articles, and numismatic journals, symbolizing the thrill of discovery and the power of the overlooked, proving that even in an age of digital currency and contactless payments, there is still incredible value hiding in the smallest of places, and this penny, once just pocket change, is now a centerpiece in the history of American numismatics, and its tale continues to inspire a new generation of collectors who are learning that passion, curiosity, and a keen eye can lead to unimaginable rewards, because this isn't just about a coin, it's about the intersection of history, economics, error, and human fascination. It's about how 1 cent became a symbol of possibility, a beacon to those who believe that rare treasure might be sitting unnoticed in their own homes, and so the legend of the 1988 1-cent coin lives on, not just in vaults and collections but in the hearts and hopes of coin hunters everywhere. And as the story spreads, so too does the possibility that another extraordinary error coin may one day be found, because the world of coins is filled with secrets waiting to be discovered. And all it takes is one incredible find to turn an ordinary day into a moment of history. And with that spirit, we encourage you to keep your eyes open, your magnifiers ready, and your curiosity alive, because the next $1 million coin could be closer than you think. And if you've enjoyed this deep dive into the mesmerizing story of the 1988 penny worth $78 million, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, where we continue to bring you the most remarkable stories from the hidden world of rare coins and priceless discoveries that remind us all that even the smallest things can hold the greatest value. Next, 1996 1-cent USA coin. Every coin has a story, and some of those stories are so shocking, so incredible, that they change the way we look at money forever. And today we're about to dive deep into one of those stories that blurs the line between pocket change and priceless treasure, because in today's video we are unveiling the unbelievable tale of the 1996 1-cent coin. A simple Lincoln penny that has stunned the numismatic world by fetching an astronomical value of $50 million due to an extraordinary mix of minting mistakes, rare errors, and one-of-a-kind production anomalies that make this coin one of the most valuable and coveted specimens ever discovered. And as we take you through the full journey of how this unassuming penny rose to become a multi-million-dollar marvel, you'll learn everything about the combination of factors that make it not just rare, but virtually irreplaceable in the eyes of collectors, investors, and experts alike. So get ready, because this is not just another error coin. This is a perfect storm of minting anomalies, transitional design quirks, metallurgical surprises, and historic flukes, all wrapped into a single coin struck in 1996. And it all begins at the Denver Mint, where this rare piece originated, a mint known for its high-volume production and mechanical precision. Yet during a narrow and mysterious window of that year, something happened on the production line that introduced a series of compounding errors that slipped past the quality control systems. And these weren't your ordinary minor anomalies, but rather rare and visually striking defects that collectors dream of finding but almost never do. And this coin, which would later sell for a staggering $50 million in a private auction, possesses a truly stunning obverse double die, meaning the image and lettering on the front of the coin was stamped twice out of alignment during the die creation process, resulting in a bold and unmistakable doubling on key areas such as the date 1996, the word liberty, and the famous motto "In God We Trust," with the doubling so crisp and clear that even the naked eye can detect it, a factor that significantly increases the coin's value. But that's just the beginning, because when experts turned the coin over to examine the reverse, what they found stunned even the most experienced numismatists. As the Lincoln Memorial appeared with dramatic die cracks forming through the structure, creating the appearance of structural damage on the monument itself, along with unusual die polishing marks and what's known as a floating roof error, where the roof of the memorial appears disconnected from the columns beneath it, a known but extremely rare type of error often caused by overzealous die polishing that removes key design elements. And when this kind of error is combined with a major double die on the obverse, it becomes a textbook example of a multi-error coin. But it doesn't end there, because the coin also displays signs of being struck on a transitional planchet, a leftover metal blank from a different year or denomination, which in this case means the coin weighs slightly more than standard 1996 copper-plated zinc pennies and contains a different metallic composition, with metallurgical analysis indicating traces of a copper alloy more consistent with pre-year 1982 bronze coins, suggesting that a leftover blank from a previous stockpile was mistakenly fed into the press during minting, and these transitional errors are exceptionally rare because they indicate that the coin was made with materials not intended for that year, and while such mistakes occasionally occur during transitional periods when the US Mint switches compositions or suppliers, the likelihood of all these errors converging on one single coin is practically astronomical. And what pushes this coin even further into legendary status is the dramatic off-center strike it features, with about 10% of the design pushed off to the side, creating a thick rim on one edge and leaving the opposite side partially blank, a visual characteristic that's immediately noticeable and striking, and coins with strong off-center strikes are already collectible, but when combined with a double die cracks, a floating roof, and a transitional planchet, the cumulative rarity is off the charts, and for good measure, this particular coin was preserved in exceptional condition, receiving a near-perfect grade by a major third-party grading company, and such condition makes it even more desirable to collectors, especially when the errors are so prominent and the surfaces so pristine, and the coin's discovery story only adds to its mystique, as it was found by a coin enthusiast in Ohio who had inherited a collection from a relative and was casually sorting through jars of old pennies when he noticed the strange doubling on the date. And after consulting with experts and sending the coin for professional grading, it was confirmed as one of the most unique error coins ever recorded, prompting major private collectors and institutions to compete in a bidding war that eventually saw the coin sell for an astounding $50 million to a private collector based in Europe, who remains anonymous but reportedly includes the coin as the crown jewel of a collection featuring other world-famous error coins, and ever since that sale, the 1996 error penny has achieved legendary status in the coin collecting world, featured in articles, museum exhibits, and documentaries about modern minting errors, and it has inspired a renewed wave of interest in modern-era pennies which were previously thought to be too recent to yield truly valuable finds, and now hobbyists and professionals alike scour rolls of 1996 pennies hoping to find another with even one of the same errors, let alone all of them. And while other 1996 double dies and off-center strikes have surfaced, none so far have matched the epic combination of features found in this one-of-a-kind coin, leading many experts to speculate that it may be the only known example, a unique multi-error specimen that defies probability and raises new questions about quality control during that year, and theories abound about what might have caused the confluence of errors, with some suggesting a perfect storm scenario involving a misaligned die installation, leftover planchets being fed into the press during a shift change, and a failure to detect the off-center alignment due to rushed production quotas or faulty detection equipment, and while we may never know the exact circumstances that gave birth to this masterpiece of minting madness, what we do know is that its combination of errors, its condition, its historical intrigue, and the massive public attention it has garnered have secured its place as one of the most valuable and talked about coins in US history, and its influence is still being felt today as collectors and treasure hunters flood online forums, coin shows, and bank rolls in search of their own potentially priceless finds, with many turning their focus to modern pennies from the 1990s and 2000s in hopes of uncovering another multi-million-dollar anomaly, and the legacy of the 1996 $50 million penny continues to grow with every article written about it, every photograph taken, and every video made, as it serves as a powerful reminder that even in a modern minting environment built on automation and consistency, human error and chance still have a place, and that place can sometimes result in a piece of copper-plated metal that changes someone's life forever, and if nothing else, the story of this coin teaches us to never overlook the little things, to always stay curious, and to never assume that something ordinary cannot become extraordinary, because hidden within that handful of pocket change might be the next great numismatic discovery, and the next story that captivates the world. And as we wrap up this deep dive into one of the most spectacular modern coin discoveries ever made, we encourage you to keep looking, keep learning, and keep collecting, because in this hobby, the next big story is always just one coin away, and who knows, maybe the next person to stumble upon a coin worth millions will be you, so make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you want to stay up to date on the most fascinating and potentially life-changing stories from the world of rare coins.